Hello, word nerds. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm very happy you're here. That's that. Good stuff. Okay, the end. This is the end of page 235. Sorry, it's fairly early in the morning, so my brain is still waking up, I think. The first word in this episode is clubber. Clubber. Noun from 1633, a member or patron of a club. Next is clubby, adjective from 1859, characteristic of a club or club members. They're so clubby as A, displaying friendliness, especially to other members of the same social group. I think that's the key part there. The synonym is sociable, so they're friendly to other people who are similar. But maybe, hopefully, they can be friendly to other people who are not similar to them. B, open only to qualified or approved persons. Synonyms are select and elite. Ugh. I mean, come on. Just because you're open only to qualified or approved persons doesn't make you elite in any way. Clubbiness is a noun. Is it clear that this frustrates me? Next is club car, 2 words, noun from 1886, a railroad passenger car with facilities for serving refreshments and drinks, called also bar car or lounge car. It's a club because it's a club and it's like a place to get the foods and the drinks. Next is club chair, 2 words, noun from 1919. A deep, low, thickly upholstered easy chair, often with rather low back and heavy sides and arms. Why is it called a club chair? Because they have these chairs at clubs? And what kinds of clubs are these? There's lots of kinds of clubs. But in 1919, I think of the Twilight Zone. I think or some older shows like that, and they had scenes in some sort of club where it's just a bunch of white dudes drinking alcohol and smoking cigars and sitting in these club chairs talking and telling stories and reading a book maybe and just being all elite and fancy, and that's the kind of chair they're sitting in. Next is club cheese, 2 words, noun from 1916, a processed cheese made by grinding cheddar and other cheeses, usually with added condiments and seasoning. What are these other cheeses? Why do they grind them up? Is it like some sort of cheese paste that they mold together to make this new kind of cheese? Why is it club cheese? I don't know. I don't understand these things. Next is club face. I hope I don't have a club face. I feel like with this beard, I'm looking like a club face. I need to get rid of it. This is 1 word, noun from 1878. The forward striking surface of a club head. Oh, okay. It's not an actual face. It's the club head. It has a face. There's a front part. I never thought of clubs having a front part. Next is club foot. So would this be the other end of the club? Probably not. This is 1 word, noun from 1538. A congenitally misshapen foot twisted out of position. Also, just this deformity is called clubfoot. Club-footed is an adjective. So I don't know if it actually means, or if it means that the foot actually looks like a club, although it probably could sometimes, but it's just the foot is twisted out. And I think that there are some procedures and surgeries that can help this to an extent. I don't know a whole lot about this. Next is club fungus. 2 words, noun from 1899. This is the fungus you get when you are not letting other people into your club because you feel like you're elite. Any of various basidiomycetes with a simple or branched, often club-shaped sporophore. That's why it's a club fungus, because the sporophores are club-shaped. Obviously, I should have known that. The family name is Clavariaceae. How do you say that? Clavariaceae or ci? Sure. Good job. Next is clubhead. 1 word, noun from 1857. The part of a golf club that strikes the ball. That would be that's where the club face probably comes into play. It's the face of the club head. You don't want to hit the golf ball with the other end, with the part where you put in your hands, because it's such a little spot to hit the ball with. You're not going to do a good job. All right. Next is clubhouse. One word, noun from 1746. 1. A house occupied by a club or used for club activities. 2. Locker rooms used by an athletic team. 3. A building at a golf course typically housing a locker room, pro shop, and restaurant. You get to see a lot of the clubhouse in the movie Caddyshack. Probably other golf movies too. Next is clubman. And we will not see clubwoman for some reason. For some shocking reason. Clubman is a one-word noun from 1836, a usually wealthy man given to club life. Oh, I've given myself up to the club life. I can't help it. The club life has taken me over, and I am a clubman. I'm being silly. Next is club moss, 2 words, noun from 1597, any of an order of primitive vascular plants, often with the sporangia borne in club-shaped strombili. Some great words in this one. The order name is Lycopodiales, and those vascular plants are possibly like the ground pine. And that's it for club moss. Next is club root, 1 word, noun from 1846, a disease of cruciferous plants as cabbage caused by a slime mold, producing swellings or distortions of the root. The slime mold scientific name is Plasmodiaphora brassicae. I just love slime mold. Next is club sandwich, 2 words, noun from 1889, a sandwich of 3 slices of bread with 2 layers of meat as turkey and lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise. But why is it called a club sandwich? Does anybody know? I've wondered this every single day for decades. I don't know. It's probably just the sandwich that was invented in some sort of club. But they were like, ooh, we're going to basically make a double sandwich. That's what it is. It's a double sandwich. But I guess if you were to have 2 sandwiches, you'd have an extra piece of bread in there. So it's a little bit better than, it's like 1.5. No, it's more like 1 2/3 sandwiches, I think. But you could put other stuff on there. You know, that's just the starting point. Next is club soda, 2 words, noun from 1877. The synonym is the 2A definition for the word, or words, soda water. This is not my favorite stuff in the world. It's fine, but if it's the only option. But I don't care for my water to be bubbly. That's just me. You probably love it. Next is, it's our last club word. It's the episode of clubs. Also, partly last episode. Club steak. 2 words, noun from 1915. A small steak cut from the end of the short loin. And then it says to see the beef illustration. But again, why is it called a club? Does it look like a club? Was it made in a club? Was it... I don't know. Okay, moving on to other words that don't start with club. Next is cluck. C-L-U-C-K. First form. Verb from the 15th century starting with intransitive. 1. To make a cluck. 2. To make a clicking sound with the tongue. Also, what's a cluck? Cluck, 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 cluck? I don't know. 3. To express interest or concern. As in, critics clucked over the new developments. Now we have transitive. 1. To call with a cluck. Come here. Cluck, cluck. Number 2. To express with interest or concern. Second form of cluck is a noun from 1703. 1. The characteristic sound made by a hen, especially in calling her chicks. Maybe I should, if I feel inspired, I'll see if I can find some audio of this specific kind of cluck. Just any kind of cluck from a chicken. Number 2, a stupid or naive person, as in a dumb cluck. I have a feeling that may have stemmed from a different word that rhymes with cluck. That's just me. All right, our last word is clue, C-L-U-E. We've got two forms, at least in this episode. Is there another one in the next episode? No, there's not. Okay, first form, noun from 1596. 1. Something that guides through an intricate procedure or maze of difficulties. Specifically, a piece of evidence that leads one toward the solution of a problem. Clues are great. The game, Clue, is something that I have not played since I was a kid, but the movie that stemmed from it is amazing. 2. Synonyms are idea and notion, as in had no clue what he meant. This is an alternative of clue, C-L-E-W. And then our very last word is the second form of clue. It is a verb from 1934. I think it is just transitive. I have to flip the page to double check because we got a little bit on that page. Okay, yes, just transitive. Number 1, to provide with a clue. I am cluing you with this clue. And then number 2, for clue, to give reliable information to, as in, he clued me in on how it happened. So, have to reread the words. Clubber, clubby, club car, club chair, club cheese, club face, club foot, club fungus, club head, club house. That came out like club house, club man, club moss, club root, club sandwich, club soda, club steak, cluck, clue. Well, I feel like I should pick a club word. What did I do in the last one? I don't know. It was a couple days ago. Because I don't think I picked a club. No, I picked clown. No, maybe that was the one before. Clownish, Chloe, clothes. I don't remember. I can't remember anything. All right, well, I just have to pick something. Let's pick club fungus as the word of the episode, and maybe quickly I can figure out how to say that backwards. It would be sugnuff bulk, club bulk, fun nuff, gus, sug. Sugnuff bulk. I think that is correct. Club fungus. Club fungus. Club fungus. I hope I don't get any club fungus. All right, let's talk about the holidays. In Mexico, it is National Grandparents' Day. I think they call them Abuelo and Abuela. So happy Abuelo Abuela Day. That's sort of accurate, not really. Let's see. Selishot. I don't know what that is. It looks like it could be a Jewish holiday, but I could be wrong. That's supposedly being celebrated in the U.S. In Moldova, it is Independence Day holiday. That's a funny phrase, Independence Day holiday. But I think it looks like they say Ziwa I'm not even going to try. I'm going to screw that up so bad. Let's see. We're going to save those. Let's do the fun holidays. Crackers over the keyboard day. I don't think it is a good idea to eat crackers over the keyboard. So, don't do that. That's a bad idea, especially if you have an IT department. They're not going to be happy with you. It is also Dream Day Quest and Jubilee. I think it's good to follow your dreams. International Read Comics in Public Day. So don't read them at home. You have to be out in public to read your comics. It is National Bow Tie Day. I don't have any bow ties, but maybe I should get a bow tie. National Cherry Turnovers Day. That sounds tasty. It is National Power Rangers Day. So when the Power Rangers first came out, it was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I saw the word morphin in the title, and I had a program on my computer where I could morph pictures. This was way back in the day, and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. That's cool. I like morphing photos. And then I watched the first episode, and I said, nope, I am too old for this. Sorry, I'm not going to watch that. So I never got into Power Rangers. National Thoughtful Day. Go be thoughtful. Pony Express Day. Race your mouse around the icons day. Why do these things even exist? So move your mouse cursor around the icons on your computer. Radio commercial day. Hey, let's do a radio commercial. Go buy some stuff because we need the money. It is Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day. I think that's for pets. It is Red Wine Day. All the red wines, have them today. Speak Kind Words Saturday. Please do this all the times. If you think you're going to say something that's not kind on today, maybe rethink what you're saying and say it in a kinder way. Please and thank you. That is all the holidays for today. I am glad that you are here. Thank you for listening and watching. You're not watching this. I don't think so. Let's see. We have been watching, speaking of watching, we've been watching the show The State. We went back to the beginning, and I had only seen a handful of episodes back in the day, and oh my god, that show. It is so silly and ridiculous and poignant and funny and sometimes not really serious, but deals with serious stuff, and I suggest everybody who is above a certain age, go watch that show. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. This is my podcast. I am glad you're here. I hope that you are subscribing and sharing and write that review. Go do it. If you haven't done it, write that review. You can contact me with the email dictionarypod@gmail.com. All of this information is in the show notes. At dictionarypod on Twitter and Instagram. There is a Google Voice number if you want to call it and leave me a voicemail. I would like to hear it, and maybe the other people would like to hear it, the other people who listen to the show. I haven't mentioned it for a bit, but I have a little YouTube series. I think I maybe am putting the links in the show notes. I can't remember, but I will do that. For YouTube series where I teach you how to talk backwards, in case anybody is interested in learning how to do that. Okay. So, the first word in this episode is clueless. It's clueless. There is a classic movie from when I was younger called Clueless, and I haven't seen it in a long, long time, but Paul Rudd is in it, and he hasn't aged ever since that movie. But I should probably watch it again, because it might be fun. This is an adjective from 1743, 1, having or providing no clue. As in, a clueless case for the police to solve. Number 2, completely or hopelessly bewildered, unaware, ignorant, or foolish. Sounds like me. I'm very clueless about a lot of stuff. As in, clueless about what they want. Next is Clumber Spaniel. Clumber is Clumber. This is a noun from 1883. Any of a breed of large, massive, heavy-set spaniels with a dense, silky, largely white coat. And we will post a picture of a Clumber Spaniel. I mean, it sounds like its name Clumber fits its visual, fits its size, its shape. This is from Clumber, which is an estate in Nottinghamshire, England. Nottinghamshire. Okay, next is clump, C-L-U-M-P, first form, noun from circa 1586. 1, a group of things clustered together, as in a clump of bushes. 2, a compact mass. 3, a heavy tramping sound, clump clump. Clumpy is an adjective. It's so clumpy. Second form of clump is a verb from 1665, starting with intransitive. 1, to walk or move clumsily and noisily. 2, to form clumps. And transitive says to arrange in or cause to form clumps. Next is clumsy, adjective from circa 1598. 1a, lacking dexterity, nimbleness, or grace. As in, clumsy fingers. Sometimes I think my fingers are kind of clumsy. They don't quite do what I want them to do. Or they just decide to not do. No, it's not like that. It's not that bad. But, Sometimes I just drop things, and that's fine. And I am not particularly graceful. That's it. Now 1B, lacking tact or subtlety, as in a clumsy joke. 2, awkward or inefficient in use or construction. Synonym is unwieldy, as in a clumsy contraption. And then a synonym is the word awkward, which is an awkward word to spell. Awkward word. Clumsily is an adverb. Clumsiness is a noun. This is probably from the obsolete English word clumsy, or clumsy, C-L-U-M-S-E, which means, it means benumbed with cold. It means your fingers are numbed because of the cold. And yeah, that would make you clumsy. Isn't it interesting that we had an old word that meant you were numbed with cold? It could be your fingers or your face, probably too, and it just meant clumsy, and then it changed. It evolved. It evolved into a thing that just meant clumsy, like you can't do something physically very well. This is fascinating. Okay, next is clung. It is the past form of cling. Next is clunk. I have a feeling this is going to be another one of these C words that has a sound associated with it. We've had a lot of these C words. This is the first form verb from circa 1796, starting with intransitive. 1, to make a clunk. 2, to hit something with a clunk. What is a clunk? Is a clunk a thing that you can make a clunk sound with? Transitive says to strike or hit with a clunk. And then the second form of clunk is a noun from 1823. I just like saying the word clunk. It's a good word. Number 1, a blow or the sound of a blow. Synonym is thump. Clunk, thump. 2, a dull or stupid person. And when they hit their head on the wall, it makes a clunk sound. Next is clunker, noun from 1933. 1, an old or badly working piece of machinery, especially a dilapidated automobile. 2, something or something notably unsuccessful, as in told a joke that was a real clunker. I have told many stories in my life that were real clunkers. Next is clunky, adjective from 1965, clumsy in style, form, or execution, as in a clunky thriller, also as in clunky earrings. I think another word that if you're talking about earrings or bracelets or something would be chunky. People like to use that word to describe those things, chunky stuff. Okay, next is clupeid, C-L-U-P-E-I-D, noun from 1942. It's just the number 2 definition for the word herring. It's a fish. It's from the Latin clupea, which means a small river fish. Clupeid. Maybe clupeid, would that also be possibly like the genus name or something like that? It might be. I don't know. It doesn't say. Next is cluster. First form, noun from before the 12th century. We're going to have a few cluster words. Okay, so there is no numbers, but there's A, B, C, and D. So this one, not number 1, it's number 0. A number of similar things that occurred together. We're talking about cluster. As A, 2 or more consecutive consonants or vowels in a segment of speech. And the word speech has 2 vowels next to each other, so I guess that would be a cluster of vowels. B, a group of buildings and especially houses built close together on a sizable tract in order to preserve open spaces larger than the individual yard for common recreation. It's a lot of information. C, an aggregation of stars or galaxies that appear close together in the sky and are gravitationally associated. Yes, I've heard of star clusters, galaxy clusters. And then D, a larger than expected number of cases of disease, as leukemia, occurring in a particular locality, group of people, or period of time. Clustery is an adjective. This is from Old English clyster with a Y, akin to the Old English clot with two T's, which means clot. Second form of cluster is a verb from the 14th century, starting with transitive. 1. To collect into a cluster, as in, cluster the tents together. Safety in numbers. Number 2, to furnish with clusters. And intransitive says to grow, assemble, or occur in a cluster, as in, they clustered around the fire. But then the smoke probably would follow them, and then they got to move around, and it's very frustrating. We had a little fire recently. We had some family in town, so there was a little fire pit, and we made some s'mores. They made some s'mores, and the smoke just kept on following people around, and I tried to stay away from it. I did stay away from it, although not about the smoke, but my mom dropped, I think, 2 or 3 marshmallows off the skewers into the fire or onto the ground, and it was very sad that the marshmallows got wasted. Okay, next is cluster analysis. 2 words, noun from 1948, a statistical classification technique for discovering whether the individuals of a population fall into different groups by making quantitative comparisons of multiple characteristics. Next is cluster bomb. 2 words, noun from 1967, a canister of small individual bombs that is dropped from an aircraft. So they can do the most damage possible because we just want to destroy everything. I don't agree with this, but maybe it'll be interesting to show a picture of a cluster bomb. I think I've seen a picture before, and it's like, yep, it's just a cluster of bombs. And then our last word is cluster headache. 2 words, noun from 1953, a headache that is characterized by severe pain in the eye or temple and tends to recur in a series of attacks. I have never had one of these, which is good for me, not good for people who get these. I think it's a form of a migraine, which is just a really intense headache. Yeah, I'm glad that I don't get this. Hopefully I never will. So the words were clueless, clumber spaniel, clump, clumsy, clung, clunk, clunker, clunky, clupiid, cluster, cluster analysis, cluster bomb, and cluster headache. Well, I think I have to pick clumsy. My mouth is clumsy. It can't say clumsy as the word of the episode because the etymology was just super fascinating to me. Maybe not to you, but it was to me. I am so clumsy I can't do anything with my hands because they've been benumbed by cold. Yep. All right, let's read the holidays. It is International Day Against Nuclear Tests. In the Ukraine, it is Miners' Day. You gotta go do the mining. In the Ukraine, also, it is Day of Remembrance of the Defenders of Ukraine. Seriously, my mouth is very clumsy. I haven't warmed up. In Poland, it is Municipal Police's Day. In India, it is National Sports Day. In Slovakia, it is Slovak National Uprising Anniversary. In India, it is Telugu Language Day. You probably didn't know that there was a language called Telugu, and I didn't either, and now you know, and you can learn about it today. In Argentina, it is National Lawyer Day. Hello, lawyers. All right, some fun holidays. It is According to Hoyle Day. According to Hoyle is in quotes. Hoyle is Hoyle. It is dedicated to remembering Edmund Hoyle, who passed away today many years ago, and dedicated to playing games according to the rules. He was... what? So you play games according to the rules, and yeah, like literally board games, I think. It is Chop Suey Day. Oh, wouldn't it have been great if this day came on the day that I read Chop Suey in the book, but it didn't. It is Individual Rights Day. Yes, you all have your individual rights and nobody can tell you otherwise, and if they do, then that's a problem and you should say something. It is, we said that, International Day Against Nuclear Tests. Well, it was similar. It is Lemon Juice Day. Go make yourself some hot water with lemon juice in it. It is More Herbs, Less Salt Day, and there's a picture of some big buckets of colorful herbs and seasonings, and it looks good. It is National Sarcoidosis Awareness Day. I don't know what it is, so I should become aware of sarcoidosis. What is it? Is there no information here about it? It should at least say what it is. Oh. It is National Swiss Wine Growers Day. I didn't know they had wine in Switzerland. It is Pottery's Bottle Oven Day. Now, what? Do those words make sense together? Pottery Bottle Oven. I don't know. It is Sacrifice Our Wants for Others Needs Sunday. So you can sacrifice what you want because instead of that, you can help some other person, and I think that's good. You can't sacrifice things for yourself all the time, but every now and again, or maybe more often than not, you can do that, and that's fine. And then lastly, it is Notting Hill Carnival. So I guess there's a carnival in Notting Hill. I visited Notting Hill briefly. It's on, what did it say? Where? West London. West London. And yes, Clumber Spaniel. Clumber, it's a state in Nottinghamshire. It's not exactly the same, but Notting Hill, Nottinghamshire, it is kind of similar, so that's a good coincidence. All right. That's it for today. Thank you very much for listening. Go let other people know about that this podcast exists, and thank you very much. I said that. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. Should I sing this whole episode? I don't think I will, but maybe we'll start that way. The first form, nope. The first word is the first form of the word clutch. C-L-U-T-C-H. I don't even know if what I'm saying makes any sense. Okay, this is a verb from before the 12th century. 1. To grasp or hold with or as if with the hand or claws, usually strongly, tightly, or suddenly. I wish I had claws. Although, I have not cut my nails in a while, so they're kind of claws. Where were we? Number 2 is obsolete. The synonym is clench. Those were transitive, by the way. Now we have intransitive. 1, to seek to grasp and hold, as in clutched at her hand. And number 2, to operate an automobile clutch, which I never learned how to do. Somebody tried to teach me, and it failed miserably, and I said, no way, I'm not doing that no more, and I haven't. I should probably learn. I understand the concept. And then a synonym is the word take. Next is the second form of clutch, noun from the 13th century. 1a, the claws or a hand in the act of grasping or seizing firmly. 1b, an often cruel or unrelenting control, power, or possession, as in the fell clutch of circumstance. That is a quote from W.E. Henley. 1c, the act of grasping, holding, or restraining. 2a, a coupling used to connect and disconnect a driving and a driven part, as an engine and a transmission of a mechanism. So, let's see, a coupling used to connect and disconnect a driving and a driven part of a mechanism. And then the example is the engine and the transmission. So, I guess if I'm understanding this correctly, the clutch disconnects a part to the thing and then it reconnects it so you can use a different gear. I'm sort of imagining, or I have to visualize the gears on a bike and how you have to change literally from one gear to another gear, and so that's what's happening in a car, but in a very much more complicated way. I think that's it for that one. To be a lever as a pedal operating such a clutch. So the clutch is on the inside, but then the thing that changes the clutch is also called the clutch. 3. A tight or critical situation. Synonym is pinch, as in come through in the clutch. And 4. The synonym is clutch bag. Third form of clutch, adjective from 1929. 1. Make or done in a crucial situation, as in a clutch hit. 2. Successful in a crucial situation, as in a clutch pitcher. Fourth form of clutch, noun from 1721. 1. A nest of eggs or a brood of chicks. That's called a clutch. Number 2, the synonyms are group and bunch. So this is from the English dialect word kletch with an E, which is hatching or brood, and it became clutch. Next is clutch bag, 2 words, noun from 1949. A woman's small, usually strapless handbag. It's a clutch bag because you have to clutch it because there's no strap. You can't strap it on your arm, your elbow, your shoulder, your neck, your knee, your whatever. There's no strap. You have to hold it. You have to clutch it tightly with your claws. And that's why it's called a clutch bag. Personally, I don't think I would like one of these. If I needed a handbag of some kind, I wouldn't want to be holding it all the time. I would want it to strap on the shoulder probably. So if you want to, if it's all up to you. It's your style, whatever. That's clutch bag. Next is clutter. First form, verb from 1556. Starting with intransitive. This one is chiefly dialect. To run in disorder. Clutter? Like, I'm running in a disorderly fashion. I would be cluttering away. Transitive verb, to fill or cover with scattered or disordered things that impede movement or reduce effectiveness, as in a room cluttered with toys. Often used with the word up. My mom has a lot to say about clutter. She has been a professional organizer for a long time now, and actually wrote a book. Her company name is Clear Your Space, Clear Your Mind. That's the motto. When you clear your space of clutter, you are clearing. Did I talk about this with the word clear? I don't remember. That's okay. I'll say it again. When you clear your space of clutter, you help to clear your mind. It makes space. It's all the clutter sort of stops the energy from flowing. I know it sort of sounds woo-woo, but she has a lot of anecdotes from people in her book, which I think is called probably just Clear Your Space, Clear Your Mind. Anyway, maybe I'll put a link in the show notes. You can buy the book that she self-published. It's a really good thing to get yourself organized and decluttered, and it should vastly help your life if you're having some problems, I think. That's my opinion. I try and declutter. I was quite a cluttered kid, and I think she was already pretty organized before that, but it didn't help things. Where were we? Okay, second form of clutter. This is the noun. That's what we're talking about. This is what we want to get rid of, right? It's from 1649. 1a, a crowded or confused mass or collection. 1b, things that clutter a place. 2, interfering radar echoes caused by reflection from objects other than the target. And the examples, the other objects, they could be on the ground. I don't know why it has to say that, but that's okay. Number 3 is chiefly dialect. Synonyms are disturbance and hubbub. Next is collide. C-L-Y-D-E. The C is capitalized. Noun from 1894. The synonym is Clydesdale, which is our next word. Clydesdale came before Clyde. It was like, oh, we can't say Clydesdale. It's too long. Let's just say Clyde. Clydesdale, we've added an S-D-A-L-E. Noun from 1786. Any of a breed of heavy draft horses originally from Clydesdale, Scotland, with long, silky hair on the legs. And I think these are the horses that they use in the Budweiser commercials, so we'll have to post a picture of Clydesdale horses. They are spectacular. Next is Clypeus, Clypeus, noun from 1834, a plate on the anterior median aspect of an insect's head. And it's Latin, and it means round shield. A place on the anterior median aspect. Would that be like the back, the middle of the back of the insect's head? That's the Clypeus. Next is Clyster, Clyster, noun from the 14th century, and the synonym is the word enema, Enema. I guess another name for that is clyster, and if you don't know what an enema is, well, the etymology might help a little bit, but we'll get more into that in probably a couple years. This is from, where's it from? The Greek klyster with a K, from klizine, which means to wash out. Wash out, clyster, enema, that's what it is. It is akin to the Welsh clir, Clir, which means pure, and from Old English, hlutor, which means clean. So yeah, it's basically cleaning something out. Next is Clytemnestra. It's kind of a hard word to say. Clytemnestra, capital Clytemnestra, noun from the 15th century, the wife and murderess of Agamemnon. So does that mean that Clytemnestra was married to Agamemnon, but then she also killed him? And I'm sure this is all from Greek mythology, is my guess. Yeah, maybe we'll put a link in the show notes so you can learn more about these two people who had a very complicated relationship. It's complicated. Well, now we got a bunch of abbreviations. We have, it looks like, one more word in this episode, and then we got some more abbreviations in the next episode. The next episode is going to be weird. We'll get there. You'll listen tomorrow, won't you? Won't you? Thank you. All right, the first abbreviation is CM, abbreviation for 1 centimeter, and 2 cumulative. The next abbreviation is actually a symbol, one of the periodic table symbols, CM with a capital C. It's for curium. Curium. Is that from Marie Curie? Probably. CM again, all caps, abbreviation for 1 common meter, 2 congregation of the mission. Next is CMA, all caps, abbreviation for 1 calcium magnesium acetate, 2 certified medical assistant, and I think also Country Music Awards. Next is CMD, abbreviation for command. Next is CMDR with a capital C, abbreviation for commander. Next is CMG, all caps, abbreviation for companion of the Order of St. Michael and St. George. That is a lot. So CMG, it's Companion Michael George. That is what it's basically abbreviating. But the whole thing is Companion of the Order of St. Michael and St. George. Next is CMOS, all caps, abbreviation for complementary metal oxide semiconductor. Makes sense. Next is, this is a weird abbreviation, CMSGT. The CMS are all caps. Abbreviation for Chief Master Sergeant. CMSGT. Next is CMV, all caps, abbreviation for cytomegalovirus. Cytomegalovirus. That's a fun word. Next is CN, capital C, symbol for Copernicum. That's probably named after Copernicus. Next is CN, all caps, abbreviation for credit note. Next is CNA, all caps, abbreviation for certified nurse aide, certified nurse assistant, certified nurse's aide, or certified nurse's assistant. So those weren't 1, 2, 3, 4, because they're basically all the same thing. They're just 4 different ways to say the same thing. What changed? Nurse to nurses, and aide to assistant, and then different combinations of that. Certified stayed the same. because they're all certified. All right, next is CNC, all caps, abbreviation for computer numerical control. Next is CNG, all caps, abbreviation for compressed natural gas. I got a lot of compressed natural gas. Haha. That's a fart joke. All right, our last word is Cnidarian. Why do we have a word that starts with N? It is spelled Cnidarian, Cnidarian. Noun from circa 1909, and the synonym is coelenterate. Now, do I need to go back and figure? No, I'm not going to do that. It is spelled Coelenterate. I think it's coelenterate. And Cnidarian is also an adjective. So this is from New Latin nida, or probably nida with a C, which means nematocyst. Nematocyst. It is from the Greek nide or nidi with a K, and that means nettle. Now, but did they pronounce it canide? Canide? I don't know if they did, but there's a K there. That means nettle, I said. Nettle. So, the words in this episode were clutch, clutch bag, clutter, Clyde, Clydesdale, Clypeus, Callister, Clytemnestra. It's a hard word to say. CM, CMA, CMD, CMDR, CMG, CMOS, CMSJT. No, I did it again. CMSGT, CMV, CN, CNA, CNC, CNG, Cnidarian. I will pick clutter as the word of the episode because I think it is very helpful to get rid of the clutter. Get rid of the clutter. Get rid of the clutter. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Don't have the clutter in your space and your face in your brain. So the holidays in Kazakhstan, and Turks and Caicos Islands, it is Constitution Day. I don't think they're related. They just happen to have Constitution Day on today, the same day. In Tatarstan, Russia, it is Independence Day, although it is not formally recognized. It is International Day of the Disappeared. Are there people who have... Yes, there are people who have disappeared, and we don't know where they went. In East Timor, it is Popular Consultation Day. In Peru, it is Saint Rose of Lima's Day. In Turkey, it is Victory Day. Anything else on this page? In Australia, Legacy Week starts. In the UK, it is Summer Bank Holiday. In India, it is Janmashtami. In Latin America, it is Santa Rosa de Lima. Oh, we said that before, I think. Fun holidays. Oh, the first one, it shows a picture of Frankenstein, or rather, Frankenstein's monster, and it's Frankenstein Day, or Frankenstein. It is International Whale Shark Day. These are pretty cool creatures. I think that they're the biggest sharks, I believe, and they're pretty chill, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. It is Motorist Consideration Monday. Please be considerate of all the motorists that you're near. National Beach Day. Should I go to the beach? It is National Grief Awareness Day. We are all grieving in various ways, probably all the time in some way, some more than others. Yeah, it's a thing that we will all go through if we haven't already. It is National Holistic Pet Day. Does that mean that the pets are holistic, or you can use holistic medicine on your pet? I don't know. It's National Toasted Marshmallow Day. I'm gonna have to toast me some vegan marshmallows today. It is Slinky Day. Slinky. I've had some Slinkies in my day, and they never perform as well as they should. You start putting them down the stairs, and then they stop. I don't know. They're fun, but I was never, terribly impressed with the Slinkies. But they're fun to just play with, just, go back and forth in your hands. That is all the holidays. I think That is all I got to tell to you today. Should we just hang out and chat? It's just a one-way chat. I'm just sitting here, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. All right, that was actually from a state episode that we watched last night, which was very funny. All right, that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to another riveting, expansive. It's not expansive. The crazy, wonderful, smelly episode of the Dictionary podcast called The Dictionary. Yeah, if you heard yesterday, you heard me say that today is going to be a weird episode. But first, I have to say happy end of August. We have made it through another month, which is just a random thing that we made up, but we got there. We found it. That's the end of the month. Then that's that for that. So we're gonna start with some abbreviations, and then we're gonna get into something different. So the first word is CNM, all caps, abbreviation for Certified Nurse Midwife, and it looks like nurse midwife is hyphenated. Next is CNMI, all caps, abbreviation for. Now, let me see. I think, yeah. I was just gonna make a silly joke about the I, how it could be a lowercase L, but it could be a capital I, because you never really can tell, because they look very similar. I think we need different letters. But anyway, this one is a capital I. It's an abbreviation for Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. They must be near the Mariana Trench, I would think, unless they're just named after the same thing. Next is CNN, all caps. Why is this in the dictionary? It's just an abbreviation for Cable News Network. Like, are there other cable or TV stations that are in the dictionary? I don't think that should be in here.
This is CNN.
Next is CNO, all caps, abbreviation for Chief of Naval Operations. That's the one who operates on your belly button. Next is C-Note. So it's a capital C, hyphen, and then the word note, N-O-T-E, noun from 1930. It is a $100 bill. They call it a C-note because, if you want to learn about that, go back to like centi, C-E-N-T-I and stuff. It's 100. It's 100, and then it becomes that. Next is CNS, all caps, abbreviation for Central Nervous System. Next is CO, abbreviation for 1, company, or 2, county. I'm sure there are other ones. Next is CO with a capital C, symbol for cobalt. CO again, all caps, abbreviation for 1, cash order, 2, Colorado, 3, commanding officer, 4, conscientious objector, and 5, corrections officer. A wide range of things. Next is CO. There is a slash. I guess it would be a /C/O, abbreviation for care of. So if you're mailing a thing and it's like how do you explain this? You're sending it to somebody, but there's somebody else who's staying there, and so I'm sending it to this person, but they're in the care of this other person whose house it actually is, something like that. That's an example of where you would use this. And then our last word for this episode is a prefix, CO. Let's see, does it give a year? It does not. Number 1, with, together, joint, jointly. So those 4 things, with, together, joint, or jointly. That's what it means. As in, coexist. Also as in, co-heir. Now that is HEIR. So those would be like the heirs of an estate. They are co-heiring. If it's maybe brother and sister, 2 siblings, whatever, they are the co-heirs of something. And that's that. That's that. Coexist. Can we all please coexist peacefully? Can we please? Thank you. Number 2, in or to the same degree, as in coextensive. 3A, one that is associated in an action with another. And then there's a couple colon sections, also fellow, also partner. As in co-author, also as in co-worker. I'm making this up, also as in co-host. I have no co-host, but there are podcasts that have co-hosts. 3B, having a usually lesser share in duty or responsibility. Also, alternate or alternate. Also, deputy, as in co-pilot. And then 4, of, relating to or constituting the complement of an angle, as in cosine. That's like SINE. Is this trigonometry? Was this sine, cosine, tangent? Yeah. The etymology says this is from the Latin com. It's prefix com, akin to the Old English prefix ge, ge. That means perfective and collective. Also, it's a collective prefix. I don't know what it's saying. Also from the Old Irish prefix com, which means with. So, here's the fun part. There is a big list of words that all start with co, and I don't know if it's a complete list, but it's a pretty big list, and I'll just read them to you. This will be fun. Most of them are just a single word, but there are a few that have a hyphen after the co, and I will list those out to you when I get there. I think it's just one little search. Yeah, okay. So the words are co-act, co-action, co-active, co-actor, co-administration, co-anchor, co-author, co-authorship, co-captain, co-catalyst, co-chair, co-chairman, co-chairperson, co-chairwoman, co-champion, co-composer, co-conspirator, co-counsel, co-create, co-creator, co-cultivate, co-cultivation, co-culture, co-curator, co-defendant, co-design, co-develop, co-developer, co-direct, co-direction, co-director, co-discover, co-discoverer, co-drive, co-driver, co-edit, co-editor, co-eternal, co-executor, co-favorite, co-feature, co-finance, co-found, co-founder, co-head, co-heir, co-heiress, co-holder, co-host, co-hostess, co-invent, co-inventor, co-investigator, co-investor, co-join. That could be co-join, 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 co-lead, co-leader, co-manage, co-management, co-manager, co-member, co-nominee. Now, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are all with hyphen, co-occur, co-occurrence, co-occurrent, co-official, co-organizer, co-own, co-owner, co-ownership. And then I think the rest have no hyphen. Co-partner, co-partnership, co-present, or would it be co-present? Co-president, co-prince, co-principal, co-prisoner, co-processing, co-produce, co-producer, co-production, co-promoter, co-proprietor, co-prosperity, co-prosperity, co-publish, co-publisher, co-publisher, co-recipient, co-researcher, co-resident, co-residential, co-ruler, co-scenarist or scenarist, co-script, co-sponsor, co-sponsorship, co-star, co-surfactant, co-tenant, co-transduce, co-transduction, co-transfer, co-transport, co-trustee, co-winner, co-worker, co-write, co-writer. That was fun. There was one that I thought was kind of funny. Co-prisoner. Oh, if there's two prisoners in a cell, they're co-prisoners. Yeah, that was all the words. So we had CNM, CNMI, CNN, CNO, C-note, CNS, CO, 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 and co. Let's pick C note as the word of the episode because it was sort of the most unique, I guess. I want them C notes in my wallet. Give me those C notes because I'm super greedy and I want the money. All right. Today is August 31st, the holidays. Internationally, also in Baloks and Pashtuns, it is Balok Pakshtun Unity Day. Oh, they've united. In Poland, it is Day of Solidarity and Freedom. In Kyrgyzstan, it is Independence Day. In Malaya, it is Independence Day. In Trinidad and Tobago, it is Independence Day. A lot of people, a lot of places being independent. In Romania, it is Romanian Language Day, and specifically in Moldova, it is our language. Maybe I need to slow down my talking because I'm messing things up. Slow your brain. In the U.S., it is National Trail Mix Day. In Sabah, Borneo, it is North Borneo Self-Government Day. Anything on this one? It is Overdose Awareness Day. Yeah, please don't overdose on something, either on purpose or accidentally. We don't need none of those. Don't do that. Please don't do that. In Australia, Stroke Week starts. Is that like awareness about possibly getting strokes? Maybe, I'm not sure. Fun holidays. Eat outside day. Go eat outside if the weather is good and you can. I think that's mostly in the US and the northern hemisphere because in the southern hemisphere it's probably much colder. It is Love Litigating Lawyers Day. So does that mean that you have to love lawyers that litigate, or I don't know. I don't know what it is. It is National Diatomaceous Earth Day. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. What is it today? We recognize the diatom and the mineral it creates. That is what we are celebrating today. It is also National Matchmaker Day. Touch a Heart Tuesday. I don't think that means literally touching a heart unless you're a heart doctor. That's okay. But maybe you can touch somebody emotionally, and that is probably a good thing. Do it in a positive way. It is We Love Memoirs Day, so go read a memoir, and that's probably it. It's also World Distance Learning Day, so learn something from a distance, like on a computer. I think that is everything I have to say today. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to this episode. Welcome to this podcast, this episode of this podcast. Welcome to the other things that's happening today. Today is September 1st. It is the best month, in my opinion, because it's my birthday month. And we're going to have probably a massive list of holidays to read at the end of this episode. So if you want to hear about those, you can stay to the end. If you would be so kind as to write a review. If you have not written a review and you're listening regularly, please go do that, especially on Apple Podcasts. And even if you're not listening on Apple Podcasts, you can still go review it on Apple Podcasts. I want to get up in them charts. It's the only thing I want in life is to be in the charts. You can email me anything you want at dictionarypod@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram because I tweet a little bit, Instagram a little bit, at dictionarypod. I think that's probably correct. All this is in the show notes. I've said this so many times, and I'm very repetitive of myself. Voicemail is in the show notes. Leave me a voicemail. And, I think that's probably fine. Should we get on to the episode? Should we say the words? I hope you're doing well. I genuinely hope that. I think that, everybody has good days and bad days, and hope you're having a good day. Maybe it's in the morning and you haven't even figured out what kind of day it's going to be. I hope this will cheer you up. Let's cheer the people up. Hey ho, let's do this. I don't know how to say this word. Coacervate. That's the first word. Coacervate. Coacervate. Noun from 1929. An aggregate of colloidal droplets held together by electrostatic attractive forces. Don't know how they do that. Coacervate is an adjective, and coacervation is a noun. This is from Latin, coacervatus, from the verb coacervare, which means to heap up, which is from acervus, which means heap. So it's all stuff heaped together. Next is coach. First form, noun from 1556, 1a, a large, usually closed four-wheeled horse-drawn carriage having doors in the sides and an elevated seat in front for the driver. And I think we've all seen pictures of this type of coach. There's a picture. I'll post a picture also. It's got four big wheels in the carriage where the people sit and the driver, and there's a horse probably in front, if not more than one horse. 1b, a railroad passenger car intended primarily for day travel. 1c, we have the number 1a definition for the word bus. 1d, it's the 3b definition for the word trailer. 1e, a two-door enclosed automobile. 1f, a class of passenger air transportation at a lower fare than first class. That's how I usually fly coach. Number 2, 2a, a private tutor. It's a coach. 2b, one who instructs or trains, especially one who instructs players in the fundamentals of a sport and directs team strategy. And we have two examples, as in an acting coach, also as in a football coach. I am more likely to have an acting coach than a football coach because my body and brain don't know how to do the football, but I could do the acting. The etymology in general, let's see, it is from Middle English, coach, from Middle French, from German, Kutsch, which is, I don't understand what this is saying, literally wagon from Kosh, Hungary. And there's some other information, hung, koshi, I think that's maybe the Hungarian word, but yeah, it's from Hungary. And then the number 2, the private tutor, or the one who helps to train something that has its own etymology, it is from the concept that the tutor conveys the student through examinations. They're coaching them? I guess that doesn't make much sense. Moving on to the second form of coach, verb from 1630, starting with intransitive. 1, to go in a coach. 2, to instruct, direct, or prompt as a coach. Transitive. 1, to train intensively, as by instruction and demonstration, as in coach pupils. Can I coach my eye pupils to do things? Number 2, to act as coach of, as in coach tennis, also as in coach a team. Coachable is an adjective, and coacher is a noun. Next is coach dog, 2 words, noun from 1764. The synonym is Dalmatian. So maybe they were used to be called coach dogs. I'm not sure why. Maybe they would bring them in the coaches. I know that they're the dog of the fire people. So maybe there's some connection there. I'm not sure. They like riding in cars or vehicles of some kind. Next is coachman, noun from 1579, a man who drives a coach or carriage. Next is coach work, noun from 1906, an automobile body. Synonym is bodywork. Next is co-adapted, adjective from 1836, mutually adapted, especially by natural selection. Co-adaptation is a noun. So now we're going to get into some words that are hard for me to pronounce, sort of. especially this one. It is coadjutor or coadjutor. I guess that's how you would say it. Coadjutor, coadjutor? I think it's coadjutor and coadjutor. Coadjutor. Noun from the 15th century. One who works together with another. Synonym is assistant. 2. A bishop assisting a diocesan bishop and often having the right of succession. And coadjutor is also an adjective. Is the etymology helpful? It's from Latin adjutor, which means helper, from adjuare, which means to help. And there's more at the word aid. I like it when people are helping other people. Next is, so this is a genderized version, is coadjutrix or coadjutrix. This is a noun from 1646, a woman who is a coadjutor, because we very much need a woman's word for this, which if you want that, that's fine. But, I don't know how necessary it is. Either way, I think we just need non-genderized words. That's my opinion. But if you like the genderized words, then I would like you to like that. And I want you to have what you want. Yeah. Next is coagulant. I'm not paying attention. Coagulant. There it is. Coagulant. Noun from 1770. Something that produces coagulation. Next is coagulase or coagulase. Noun from 1914. Any of several enzymes that cause coagulation, as of blood. And then our last word is coagulate. 2 forms. The first one is an adjective from the 14th century. It is archaic and it means being clotted or congealed. And then the second form of coagulate, verb from the 15th century, starting with transitive. 1. To cause to become viscous or thickened into a coherent mass. Synonyms are curdle and clot. And number 2, to gather together to form into a mass or group. Intransitive, to become coagulated. How do you say this word? Coagulability. Coagulability is a noun. Coagulable is an adjective, and coagulation is a noun. And this is from the Latin coagulatus, which is from the verb coagulare, which means to curdle, from coagulum, which means curdling agent, from cogere, which means to drive together. And there's more at the word cogent. Okay, we did it. The words today were coacervate. Coacervate, that's how you say it. Coach, coach dog, coach man, coach work, coadapted, coadjutor, coadjutrix, coagulant, coagulase, coagulate. Let's pick coagulate as the word of the episode. Coagulate, coagulate, I love it when my blood coagulates. Because I can't be bleeding all the time. I got to have the blood coagulating. Yeah, I do. All right. The holidays. In Eritrea, it is anniversary of the start of the armed struggle. I'm having a lip struggle. In Slovakia, it is Constitution Day. In Japan, it is Disaster Prevention Day. It is the earliest day on which these 3 holidays can fall. Father's Day in Australia, Fiji, New Zealand, and Papua New Guinea. Labor Day in Canada, the US, and Palau. And Teacher's Day in Singapore. It is the first day of school in many countries in Asia, Europe, and the Americas. In Honduras, it is Flag Day. It is Independence Day in Uzbekistan. In Taiwan, it is Journalist Day. In Russia, Ukraine, and Armenia, it is Knowledge Day. In New Zealand, it is Random Acts of Kindness Day. In Poland, it is Veterans Day. In Australia, it is Waddle Day. Is that like the waddle of a turkey or a chicken? Let's see, what else? Did we say this? Slovakia, Day of the Constitution of the Slovak Republic. In Australia, it is, what is this? Footy Colors Day. Also in Australia, it is Indigenous Literacy Day. That's good. In Australia, also, wow, they have a lot. It is National Child Protection Week. That's its starting. In the UK, it is the beginning of autumn. And in South Africa, it is the beginning of spring. In Russia, it is Enlightenment Day. In Moldova, it is Language Day Extra Holiday. In India, National Nutrition Week starts. In Belgium, school starts. In Estonia, Wisdom Day. In Latvia and Russia, Day of Knowledge. I don't know if any of those were repeats from the other page I read. All right, fun holiday time. I'm sure there's a bunch. American Chess Day. Go play some chess. Building and Code Staff Appreciation Day. Chicken Boys Day. What was that? The boy chickens? You got to celebrate the boy chickens. It is Emma M. Nutt Day. Who's Emma M. Nutt? Nutt with 2 T's. The first female telephone operator in the world in 1878 on this day. Wow. It is Ginger Cat Appreciation Day. Global Talent Acquisition Day. National Acne Positivity Day. Yeah, if you got acne, I know it's a pain in the butt, but let's be positive about it. National Cherry Popover Day. National No Rhyme or Reason Day. No Rhyme or Reason Day. I am doing this podcast because there's no rhyme or reason to it. National Tofu Day in the UK, but let's have that all over. Have some tofu today. It's fine. You put some good sauces and seasonings on it. It's great. Pink Cadillac Day. Toy Tips Executive Toy Test Day. What? Toy Tips Executive Toy Test Day. World Letter Writing Day. Hand write a letter to somebody today. Oh boy. Okay, so we have another page. Let's read the months first. What months is September? Oh my God, there's so many. It is Animal Pain Awareness Month. Yeah, animals experience pain. They have nerves. They have emotions too. They experience physical and mental pain just like we do. Maybe you should think about that. Okay? It is Baby Safety Month. But the babies, they don't need to be safe the rest of the months, just this month. Better Breakfast Month. Intergeneration Month. Liptember. Is that like something about lipstick? Because it shows a picture of somebody putting on lipstick. Liptember. National Chicken Month. But they experience pain. Just saying. National Cholesterol Education Month. National Honey Month. National Learning and Development Month. National Papaya Month. National Peripheral Artery Disease Awareness Month. National Suicide Prevention Month. Yes. National Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome Awareness Month. Self-Improvement Month. Sexual Health Month. World Alzheimer's Month. World Candle Month. And I don't know why this one is separated from the other ones. It seems like it shouldn't be, but it is Hispanic Heritage Month. That is a big one as well. All right. Now we probably have some weeks to read. Oh, actually, not yet. Not until September 5th will we have a week. But we do have one day. It's American Chess Day. We already read that. On this page, it only lists one. And on the other page, we had a whole bunch. So that's it. That's the end of the episode. We finished page 236. Thank you very much for trudging through this with me. We got to another month. We're going to go through a lot of months in this podcast. Yeah, that's it. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. This is the podcast where I talk about all the stuff in the thing and the then stuff, blah, blah, blah. Yep. We are at the top of page 237, and when I re-listened to yesterday's episode, I realized that the last, 3 words, I messed up the pronunciation, and you were probably all like, oh my god, why doesn't he know how to say coagulate? It's not coagulate. So yeah, I guess I just wasn't paying attention when I was actually reading the words. But I will have put something in the show notes to say, oops, bad pronunciation, so sorry about that. Okay, so let's talk about the words in this episode. The first one is, it's probably related. Yes, coagulum. Coagulum. It's not coagulum. That would be weird. It's coagulum. Coagulum, noun from 1658. A coagulated mass or substance. And the synonym is clot. Yes, a clot is a coagulum, but that's way too hard to say, so we just call them clots. Next is coal, Coal, first form, noun from before the 12th century. 1. A piece of glowing carbon or charred wood, and the synonym is ember. 2. It is the number 1 definition for the word charcoal. 3a, a black or brownish black solid combustible substance formed by the partial decomposition of vegetable matter without free access of air and under the influence of moisture and often increased pressure and temperature that is widely used as a natural fuel. That was a very, very long definition. And then 3b is plural and British. Pieces or a quantity of the fuel broken up for burning. The etymology from Old Norse kol, Kol, and that means burning ember. Also from Middle Irish gual, although I don't think they pronounce it that way, Gual, and that means coal. And the second form of coal is a verb from 1602. We are starting with transitive. 1. To burn, to charcoal. To burn, to charcoal. So I guess that means you are burning something so much that it becomes charcoal? I don't know. And the synonym is char. Number 2, to supply with coal. And then the intransitive says to take in coal. To take in coal. Next is coalesce. Coalesce. Verb from circa 1656. 1. To grow together. How sweet. 2a. To unite into a whole. That is WHOLE. And the synonym is fuse. As in, separate townships have coalesced into a single sprawling colony. And that is a quote from Donald Gould. 2b. To unite for a common end. And then colon, join forces. As in, people with different points of view. No, that's not how the quote goes. It is people with different points of view coalesce into opposing factions. That is a quote from I.L. Horowitz. Number 3, to arise from the combination of distinct elements, as in an organized and a popular resistance immediately coalesced. Yeah, that's a quote from C.C. Mengs or Menges, something like that. Those were intransitive, I guess. I think I forgot to say that. And now we're on transitive, to cause to unite. As in, sometimes a book coalesces a public into a mass market. That's a quote from Walter Mead. Every single one of these were actual quotes, all these examples. And then finally, the synonym is mix. Coalescence is a noun, and coalescent is an adjective. Next is coal field, one word, noun from 1805, a region rich in coal deposits. Next is coalfish, one word, noun from 1603, any of several blackfish or dark-backed fish, as a pollock, cobia, or sablefish. Next is coal gas, two words, noun from 1809, gas made from coal, as a, the mixture of gases thrown off by burning coal. B, gas made by carbonizing bituminous coal in retorts and used for heating and lighting. Next is coal hole. Coal hole. It's the hole that you put all the coal into. Noun from circa 1662. It is British. A compartment for storing coal. Next is Coalification, yes. Noun from 1911, a process in which vegetable matter becomes converted into coal of increasingly higher rank with anthracite as the final product. And coalify is a transitive verb. They seem, very similar. The process is coalification, and it is being coalified. Next is coalition, noun from 1604, 1a, the act of coalescing, and the synonym is union. 1b, a body formed by the coalescing of originally distinct elements, and I'm assuming is actually the word originally, but I don't know. Is that on this page? I feel like it, depending on the context, it could be different things. And original or originally. So yes, it depends on the context. I think originally makes sense here, and we were there. Okay, and the synonym is combination. 2, a temporary alliance of distinct parties, persons, or states for joint action. Coalitionist is a noun. Next is coal measures, 2 words, noun from 1829. Beds of coal with the associated rocks. Next is coal oil. Coal oil. 2 words, noun from 1851. 1, petroleum or a refined oil prepared from it. And number 2, the synonym is kerosene. Next is coal seam. 2 words, seam is S-E-A-M, noun from 1811. A bed of coal, usually thick enough to be profitably mined. How thick would that be? A centimeter, an inch, a foot, a mile? I have no context. Next is coal tar, 2 words, noun from 1785. Tar obtained by distillation of bituminous, is it bituminous? We'll say bituminous. Of bituminous coal and used especially as an industrial fuel in making dyes, and in the topical treatment of skin disorders. Next is combing. You can spell this 2 ways. It is here in this section because the first way is spelled C-O-A-M-I-N-G, or it's spelled like the thing that you put in your hair if you have any hair. C-O-M-B-I-N-G. Noun from 1611, a raised frame, as around a hatchway in the deck of a ship, to keep out water. So a raised frame to keep out water. And the last word is coapt. Coapt. C-O-A-P-T. Verb from 1570. I believe it is just transitive. To fit together and make fast. And coaptation. Coaptation is a noun. This is from Latin co plus aptus, which means fastened or fit. And there's more at the word apt. So the words today were coagulum, coal, coalesce, coal field, coal fish, coal gas, coal hole, coalification, coalition, coal measures, coal oil, coal seam, coal tar, combing, and coapt. What do I want to pick? Let's see. Maybe I will pick coalesce as the word of the episode, because it's all about coming together. Let's come together as a world peoples. Let's coalesce. That is a song, sort of. All right, let's talk about the holidays. In Tibet, it is Democracy Day. In this is a location. It's Independence Day in 2 places that are both unrecognized. One of them is called Transnistria, and the other one is Artsakh. And I don't know where those are. In the U.S., I have a feeling this is going to be in the fun holidays as well. It is National Blueberry Popsicle Day. I don't think I've ever had a blueberry popsicle. It is National Day. It celebrates the independence of Vietnam from Japan and France. Wow, I didn't know it was both because I'm a dummy. And it's also, interesting. Okay, it's Victory Over Japan Day in the U.S. which, if I check this page, I believe that has another name, which is VJ Day. I saw that listed somewhere. Yeah, that's what that is. In Argentina, it is Industrial Day. And what are the fun holidays? Eat an extra dessert day. Well, you don't have to tell me twice. So the fun holidays, it is, what is this? Bicentennial Day. Bicentennial. Like, so there's pictures of a picture of bison. Bicentennial. I feel like that's a pun of some kind. I don't know. Calendar Adjustment Day. What? I don't know what that means. Yeah, National Blueberry Popsicle Day. Yummy. Pierce Your Ears Day. I'm good on that. Spalding Baseball Day. Yes, Victory Over Japan Day, which is also VJ Day or VP Day or Victory in the Pacific Day. But, you know, that was a long time ago. World Coconut Day. Anything else on this one? Nope, that's it. Those were all the holidays, and those were also all the words. On a personal note, if anybody cares to listen to my life at all, today, September 2nd, I am actually having a procedure done. I am getting one of those scopes down the throat to see what's going on down there. I have a slight swallowing problem, so we just want to go get it checked out, and hopefully it's nothing to be concerned about. Hopefully it's nothing. It could just be GERD. I think that's the general term for that sort of thing. I don't know if it's that. We'll see. Doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm having a procedure done. The chances of dying, I think, are pretty low. But if I die, then you're going to keep on getting episodes from me for probably at least the next month, because I'm just going to be ahead on recording, hopefully. And then there will be no more episodes because I will have left this planet physically or mentally. Solely, my spirit will have left. This took a turn. I just was trying to be a little funny because I'm hilarious. No. Okay, that's going to be it for this episode. And that's all I got to say. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information for now. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to another episode of The Dictionary. This is the podcast. Hey, today's my birthday. Woohoo! It's just, another one of a whole bunch that I will be celebrating during this long podcast experiment adventure. So happy birthday to me and to you if it's your birthday, but also all the other days when I don't say it, it's also people's birthdays. So happy birthday to all them, because this podcast is every single day. Okay, the first word in this episode is coarctation. 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 Noun from 1545. A stricture or narrowing, especially of a canal or vessel, as the aorta. Let's see. This is from the Latin coarctatio. That means tightening. From coarctare, or just coartare, which means to constrict. From co plus artare, which means to fix firmly. So fix firmly plus co becomes to constrict. Yeah. And then from artus, which means close or tight, akin to the Latin artus, which means joint. And there's more at the word article. Interesting. Next is coarse. 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 Adjective from the 14th century. 1. Of ordinary or inferior quality or value. Synonym is common. 2A1. Composed of relatively large parts or particles, as in coarse sand. I have seen in a menu edamame with coarse salt. I have seen that listed. So coarse sand, coarse salt. Don't put coarse sand on your things when you want salt. 2A2. Loose or rough in texture, as in coarse cloth. 2B. Adjusted or designed for heavy, fast, or less delicate work, as in a coarse saw with large teeth. To see, not precise or detailed with respect to adjustment or discrimination. 3. Rude or unrefined in taste, manners, or language. And apologies if my voice sounds a little weird. I am having some allergies, and so I've got some Kleenex handy, which, of course, I will cut out any gross noise sounds. But yeah, that's why I sound like this. Number 4, harsh, raucous, or rough. Harsh, raucous, or rough in tone. And then 5 is chiefly British, of or relating to coarse fish, as in coarse fishing. Coarsely is an adverb, and coarseness is a noun. And here we go with some synonym information for coarse. Coarse, vulgar, gross, obscene, and how do you say this word? Ribald? Ribald? I'll just say ribald, because why not? Those words mean offensive to good taste or morals. Coarse implies roughness, rudeness, or crudeness of spirit, behavior, or language, as in, found the coarse humor of coworkers offensive. Vulgar often implies boorishness or ill-breeding, as in a loud, vulgar belch. Don't worry, I won't give you one of those right now. Gross implies extreme coarseness and insensitiveness. Insensitiveness, as in gross eating habits. Ugh, yeah. Obscene applies to anything strongly repulsive to the sense of decency and propriety, especially in sexual matters, as in obscene language not allowed on the air. There is no obscene language in this podcast because it is family friendly, even though sometimes I would like to use obscene language. I think that it's just better not to, probably. And then ribald, however you want to pronounce that word, R-I-B-A-L-D. That word applies to what is amusingly or picturesquely vulgar or irreverent or mildly indecent, as in entertain the campers with ribald folk songs. And I feel like I'm probably saying that word wrong. Next is coarse fish. If you were so confused about that when we read it in the last definition, coarse fish, 2 words, noun from 1857. 1, the synonym is rough fish. So are they literally rough? Are the scales rough? Number 2 is chiefly British, a freshwater fish other than a salmonid. Now, it's not the word salmon or salmon, as some people like to say. The letters ID are at the end, so it's salmonid. Next is coarse-grained, 2 words with a hyphen, adjective from circa 1774. 1, having a coarse grain, as in coarse-grained wood. What would a coarse grain be? I don't understand. Is it just like not as smooth and it's rough? Maybe I shall find a picture of some coarse-grained wood. And then number 2, the synonym is crude, as in coarse-grained humor. Next is coarsen, verb from 1805. First is transitive, to make coarse, and then intransitive says to become coarse. It's very simple. To make coarse, to become coarse. Next is the word coast, C-O-A-S-T, first form, noun from the 14th century. 1, the land near a shore. The synonym is seashore. She sells seashells by the coast. See, it doesn't work. Number 2 is obsolete. The synonyms are border and frontier. 3a, a hill or slope suited to coasting. 3b, a slide down a slope, as on a sled. Number 4 is often capitalized, the Pacific coast of the U.S. I would love to someday drive up the coast or down the coast. Which way makes more sense? Should I start at the bottom and go up, go north, or should I start at the top and go south? I don't think it matters, but maybe some people have opinions on that. And then number 5, the immediate area of view. And this is used in the phrase, the coast is clear. The coast is clear. Now what can we do? Coastal is an adjective. Coastwise is an adverb or adjective. And from coast to coast means across an entire nation or continent. Although a lot of continents, maybe not continents, a lot of nations, countries, don't have any coast whatsoever. So, I mean, I guess technically, if you're using the border definition of that, then that makes sense. But yeah, usually we think of land and water meeting. So America, Canada, Mexico, so many other ones. We've got a coast to coast. This is from the Latin costa, which means rib or side, akin to the old CS. Now, I should know what this is, because I've looked at this so many times. Old Church Slavic word kosti, and that means bone. So rib, side, bone, those are all coast words, and I guess that means the edge of something. Second form of coast is a verb from the 14th century, starting with transitive. Number 1 is obsolete, to move along or past the side of. And the synonym is skirt, like I'm skirting the issue. Number 2, to sail along the shore of. And then intransitive, 1A is archaic, to travel on land, along a coast or along or past the side of something. 1B, to sail along the shore. 2A, to slide, run, or glide downhill by the force of gravity. I love doing that in a car because you save gas. Coasting in a car is saving gas. 2B, to move along without or as if without further application of propulsive power, as by momentum or gravity. That's just what I was saying. Coasting, if you coast behind a big truck, they have broken up the air in front of you, so it's easier. You're using less gas. Less gas? Did I say gassed or gas? Doesn't matter. Let's move on to 2C. To proceed easily without special application of effort or concern, as in coasted through school. And that is often used with the word on, as in a company coasting on its good reputation. And our last word is coaster, noun from 1574. Yes. Number 1, one that coasts, as 1A, a person engaged in coastal traffic or commerce. 1B, a ship sailing along a coast or engaged in trade between ports of the same country. 2, a resident of a seacoast. 3A, a tray or decanter stand, usually of silver and sometimes on wheels. 3B, a shallow container or a plate or mat to protect a surface. And if you would like to buy some wood-burned coasters that are mostly Twin Peaks related, but maybe there will be more in the future. Oh, there's also some Halloween stuff. I urge you to go check out my wife's Etsy store, which I will post a link in the show notes, where she makes some hand wood-burned. You know, she's not burning them with her hand, but she's using the tool with her hand. It's not like no lasers or machines or nothing like that. But they're very cool, especially if you like Twin Peaks and Halloween stuff and more. Those are coasters. Next is 4A, a small vehicle, as a sled or wagon, used in coasting. And then 4B, ooh, the synonym is a roller coaster. Yeah, you can just call them coasters because you're cool. So the words today were coarctation, coarse, coarse fish, coarse grained, coarsen, coast, and coaster. I will pick the verb of coast because I like to coast in the car so I can save gas. Coasting on the car wins, and that is not factual, and it's not a song. All right, let's talk about the holidays for today, my birthday. In China, it is a victory over Japan, specifically Armed Forces Day and VJ Day. It is the Feast of San Marino and the Republic. In Australia, it is Flag Day. It is Independence Day in Qatar. That is with a Q if you didn't know. In Zambia, it is Levi Mwana... Oh, I want to say it correctly. Mwanawasa. Levi Mwanawasa Day. In Tunisia, it is Memorial Day. In Canada, Merchant Navy Remembrance Day. In the UK, Merchant Navy Day. Similar. In the US, it is National Welsh Rarebit Day. In Tokelau, New Zealand, it is Tokahega Day. And let's check this page. Anything else? In the US, it is College Colors Day. That's it for that page. Let's talk about the fun holidays for today. It is Bring Your Manners to Work Day. I hope everybody always brings their manners to work day. It is National Chianti Day. Maybe you can have some fava beans. It is National Food Bank Day. Oh, this is great. I am actually now monthly donating to a food bank in my town because I think that these are really, really important, and I think that we should all be doing more to help things like this. Help people get food, help people get education, help people who are homeless and stuff like that. Probably not relatedly, it's National Lazy Moms Day. So if you are a mom, you can be lazy today. What am I saying? The brain just stopped. It went in a whole other direction. It's National Skyscraper Day. U.S. Bowling League Day. I'm not a part of a bowling league, and I almost never bowl, but I really like to bowl. And I said the word wear because next is Wear Teal Day. I don't know if I have anything that's teal. I'll have to check. Probably not. Let's just lastly check this page for any other... Nope, that's it. That's everything. That's everything for today. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer on his birthday, dispensing all the information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. I don't know if this sounds... Actually, no, I'm for sure that this sounds different. I am sitting in my dining room, which is pretty open to the living room because I was in the bedroom and I had the air conditioner on and it was really warm and I have allergies and my nose was running a lot and it was really irritating. I was really warm and uncomfortable. So I was like, well, hey, let's go sit on the dining room table in front of the air conditioner where I'm not like surrounded by, like warm things, pillows and mattress and stuff. Because it was so gross in there. Anyway, so I feel more comfortable so far. Let's see how this goes. We'll find out. This will be an experiment. Yeah, cool. So, by the way, happy birthday, Sharon. Happy birthday. The first word in this episode is coaster brake. 2 words. Brake, like the brakes on your car. Noun from 1899. A brake in the hub of the rear wheel of a bicycle operated by reverse pressure on the pedals. Yes, I have experienced this on bicycles. You press down on the pedals backwards and it brakes. I'm not so sure if most bikers would say this is the best way to have the brakes on your bike. I think it should be the hand brakes. I think that's safer probably. But those are called coaster brakes. Next is coaster wagon, 2 words, noun from 1911. A child's toy wagon, often used for coasting. Often used for coasting. Like, what would that example be? I don't know. You push them in the wagon and then they just go. They're just coasting off into the distance, into the sunset. Next is Coast Guard, 2 words, noun from 1833. 1. A military or naval force employed in guarding a coast or responsible for the safety, order, and operation of maritime traffic in neighboring waters. And then number 2 is usually 1 word, Coast Guard. It is chiefly British, and the synonym is Coast Guardsman. All 1 word, Coast Guardsman. Next is Coast Guardsman, or just Coast Guardman. Noun from 1848, a member of a Coast Guard. Next is coastland, 1 word. It's like, but the coast is sort of the water. What is the coast? We talked about it in the last episode. I mean, they just mentioned what it is, but it's the meeting. It says the land near a shore. So like the sand or whatever it is, it's technically the land because you can drive on the coast, but it's near the water. I was going to say, what's the definition? Is it the edge? Anyway, we're not going to go down that road. So coastland, noun from 1852, land bordering the sea. You could also just call it coast. Next is coastline, noun from 1856. 1. A line that forms the boundary between the land and the ocean or a lake. 2. The outline of a coast. Next is coast redwood, 2 words, noun from circa 1897, and it's the 3A definition for the word redwood. Next is coast, 2 coast, 3 words with hyphens, adjective from 1911. 1. Extending or airing across an entire nation or continent, as in a coast-to-coast flight, also as in a coast-to-coast broadcast. This podcast is airing coast to coast all over the world. Does the world have coasts? Number 2, extending from one end of a playing surface, as a basketball court, to the other, as in a coast-to-coast rush. Also, relating to or resulting from a coast-to-coast play, as in a coast-to-coast layup. Coast-to-coast is also an adverb. Next is coastward or coastwards, adverb from 1840, toward the coast. We are going towards it. We are going coastward. Coastward is also an adjective. Next is coat. First form, noun from the 14th century. 1A, an outer garment worn on the upper body and varying in length and style according to fashion and use. 1B, something resembling a coat. It resembles it, but it's not quite, but I'm still going to call it a coat. Number 2, the external growth on an animal. The external growth on an animal. What a funny way to say that. Your fur. It's not fur, it's an external growth. Number 3, a layer of one substance covering another, as in a coat of paint. Coated is an adjective and coatless is an adjective. Those animals that don't have external growths, they are coatless. I think I would like a coatless cat someday. Let's see. This is it's an Old High German Koza, K-O-Z-Z-A, which means coarse wool mantle. Second form of coat is a verb from the 14th century, just transitive. 1, to cover with a coat. That could be an external growth of hair or something on an animal. It could be paint. It could be something else. Number 2, to cover or spread with a finishing, protecting, or enclosing layer. And coater is a noun. Next is coat dress, 1 word. Well, make up your mind. Is it a coat or is it a dress? Noun from 1854, a dress styled like a coat, usually with a front buttoning from neckline to hemline. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Fine. Okay, cool, whatever. Next is coat hanger, 2 words. I think we would just say coat hanger. Noun from 1895, a device which is shaped like the outline of a person's shoulders and over which garments may be hung. I don't know. I've said it before. I love these like overly specific definitions because it's accurate. It's correct. If you don't know what a coat hanger is, this very clearly describes that. Next is a word that looks like it would be pronounced coaty, but it is not. It is, you've got a few pronunciations. Kawati, also, well, that's very similar. So kawati, kowati, or kwati. The first 2 were pretty similar. This is a noun from 1676, either of 2 tropical American mammals related to the raccoon, but with a longer body and tail and a long, flexible snout. Ooh, a flexible snout. What is this, an anteater? I don't think it looks quite like an anteater, but I didn't realize their snouts were so flexible. I don't know a whole lot about these, but we'll post a picture of a kawati. It is Portuguese, spelled the same way, or spelled Q-U-A-T-I, Kwati, also from the Tupi word Kwati, spelled K-W-A-T-I. Next is Kwati Mundi. Let's see, so you could say Kwati Mundi, Kwati Mundi, yeah, all those variations. It is 1 word, noun from 1676. It's the same year, and the synonym is just Coati, so I guess the real name is Coati Mundi. But let's look at the etymology. Portuguese, Coati Mundi, from Tupi, Coati Mundi. That is older male Coati, not with a band. So that's not the original word. It is a more specific type of Coati. The older male Coati, but they don't. Wait, not with a band. Does that mean that it's a band in the color, or like a band, like a group? I'm not sure, but it is from Coati, which means Coati, plus Mundi, which means snare or trap. So interesting. How many times can I say interesting in this whole podcast? Next is coating. Coat with an ing, noun from 1768. 1, cloth for coats. And number 2, synonyms are coat and covering. Next is coat of arms, 3 words from the 14th century. It doesn't say noun or anything like that, but I think it's a noun. 1, a tabard, a tabard, or surcoat embroidered with armorial bearings. 2a, heraldic bearings, as of a person, usually depicted on an escutcheon, often with accompanying adjuncts as a crest, motto, and supporters. And I don't know some of these words, I'm sorry. 2b, a similar symbolic emblem. Next is coat of mail, mail, 3 words from the 15th century, a garment of metal scales or chainmail worn as armor. And then our last word is coat rack. You know, you put the coat hangers on the coat rack. This one is 1 word, noun from 1915, a stand or rack fitted with pegs, hooks, or hangers, and used for the temporary storage of garments. If it were permanent storage, you would never be able to get your coats back. All right, so the words were coaster brake, coaster wagon, coast guard, coast guardsman, coastland, coastline, coast redwood, coast to coast, coastward, coat, coat dress, coat hanger, Coati, Coati Mundi, coating, coat of arms, coat of mail, and coat rack. Well, I will pick coat hanger as the word of the episode because we all have hangers, I think, probably, and need hangers. You got to hang up your stuff somewhere. I have preferences on my hangers. We have some of the ones that are really frictiony. They've got like a fabric or something, and you know, I get the benefit of those. But I kind of like the ones that it's so hard to get stuff on them. Sometimes when there's too much friction. So I like the ones that don't have as much friction. Put your clothes on a coat hanger so it doesn't get so wrinkly. But if you're like me, you got too many clothes in your closet, so they're all mushed together and they're still wrinkly. All right, let's talk about the holidays. The holidays for September 4th. In Argentina, it is Immigrants' Day. In the U.S., it is Newspaper Carrier Day. What does this page say? In Argentina, it is National Secretary Day. Also in Argentina, National Immigrant Festival. Australia, Canada, and the U.S. all are celebrating Bacon Day. Is it Bacon Day every September 4th? No bacon for me, but if you ever go to Berkeley, California, you got to go check out the Butcher's Son because they have the best vegan bacon I have ever had in my life. If the Butcher's Son would like to be a sponsor, that would be fine. Also, Australia, Canada, the UK, and the US, it's World Beard Day. Yes, the beards on the people's faces. Some fun holidays. Eat an extra dessert day. You don't have to tell me twice to eat an extra dessert. Franchise Appreciation Day. International Bacon Day. I feel like there was another Bacon Day not that long ago. I think it was on the same day as like Pecan Day because the colors and the pictures on this page were so similar. I don't remember what that was though. International Vulture Awareness Day. Vultures, people don't like them because they look kind of ugly and creepy, but they're pretty interesting animals. National Hummingbird Day. They are the opposite of vultures. They're both birds, but they are tiny, and vultures are large. And they eat very different things. National Macadamia Nut Day. National Tailgating Day. National Wildlife Day. And I think that is probably it. Oh, College Colors Day. Although, didn't we already have a College Colors Day? And Beyonce's birthday. Most importantly of all, Beyonce's birthday. Happy birthday, Beyonce. Maybe next year you can be a guest on the September 4th episode. All right, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for listening. And until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. I try and say it slightly differently every time because, I got to keep it semi-interesting for you and myself. I'm the one who has to say it, 365 times a year. End of page 237. If you are listening to this on any sort of podcast platform that allows ratings and reviewings, I would love it if you did that. You could give me some 5 stars and say if it's good or if it's bad or not or whatever, or yes and no. If you would like to email me, it is dictionarypod@gmail.com. The information is in the show notes. Instagram and Twitter, I post a little bit. Those are at dictionarypod. If you would like to call me, I'm not going to pick up, but you can leave a voicemail, and the phone number is in the show notes. And if I like it, maybe I'll put it in an episode. And I think that's it for that. Okay. The first word in this episode is coat room. One word, noun from 1870. Synonyms are cloak room. I wish we all wore cloaks. Cloak room and check room. And make sure to tip your coat room attendant, please, and thank you. Next is coat tail. One word. So there's 2 T's in the middle. It's one word. Noun from circa 1600. 1. The rear flap of a man's coat. It'd be funny if the word coat wasn't there. The rear flap of a man. Nope. The rear flap of a man's coat. Number 2 is plural. The skirts of a dress coat, cutaway, or frock coat. Number 3 is plural. The influence or pulling power of a popular movement or person. I feel like they put in all those P's on purpose. Well, I added more P's. The pulling power of a popular movement or person as a political candidate, as in congressman riding into office on the president's coattails. Next is coax, C-O-A-X, first form, verb from 1581, starting with transitive, and I think it is only transitive. So number 1 is obsolete. Synonyms are fondle and pet. Yes, this is definitely obsolete. Interesting. Fondle and pet. Okay, number 2, to influence or gently urge by caressing or flattering. And the synonym is wheedle. W-H-E-E-D-L-E. Wheedle. As in, coaxed him into going. 3, to draw, gain, or persuade by means of gentle urging or flattery. As in, unable to coax an answer out of him. Number 4, to manipulate with great perseverance and usually with considerable effort toward a desired state or activity, as in, coax a fire to burn. Good luck with that. And then another synonym for everything is the word cajole. So it's from the earlier word coax, C-O-K-E-S, which means simpleton? I don't understand the connection there. Next is, so this one is spelled the same way, coax, but it is pronounced coax. Coax. So this is the second form of that spelling of the word. This one is a noun from 1945, and the synonym is coaxial cable. We're about to get to that one, but first we have to read just coaxial by itself. Adjective from 1881. 1. Having coincident axes. Coincident axes. Does that mean that they merge or something? Number 2, mounted on concentric shafts. And coaxially is an adverb. So here we go with coaxial cable, and now I'm curious, why are they called coaxial cables? Do they have coincident axes, or is it mounted on concentric shafts? I have no idea. I don't know if this definition is going to describe it, but let's find out. It's a noun from 1936, a transmission line that consists of a tube of electrically conducting material surrounding a central conductor held in place by insulators and that is used to transmit telegraph, telephone, and television signals. They all started with telegraph, telephone, television, also called coax cable. So yes, I think this would be the one, concentric shafts. There's a thing that's surrounded by another thing, surrounded by another thing, so that is that. Next is cob, C-O-B, noun from the 15th century. Number 1, a male swan. And the etymology for this says it is perhaps short for cob swan, which is the lead swan, cob swan. Number 2a, this is English dialect. A rounded mass, lump, or heap is called a cob. 2b, a mixture of unburnt clay and straw used especially for constructing walls of small houses in England. Number 3, a crudely struck Old Spanish coin of irregular shape. And then number 5, we have a 4 and a 5. Number 4, synonym is the number 1 definition for the word corn cob. Ooh, we shall be getting to that. Oh boy, it's a lot longer from now than I expected. Corn cob, so tasty. Number 5, a stocky, short-legged riding horse. This is from Middle English, cob, with 2 B's and an E. That is leader of a group, or head, probably akin to cub, which is a young animal. From Middle English, keb, with a K, it means old cow or sheep. From the Dutch dialect, kab or keb, which means piglet. So it's just all animals. Next is this is the cobalt section. Well, almost. This one is cobalamin. Cobalamin, noun from 1956. And actually, this is technically in the cobalt section, even though it doesn't say cobalt in it. But it is from cobalt plus vitamin, so cobalamin. And it is just the synonym vitamin B12 is cobalamin. So here we go with cobalt, noun from 1683. Now, I think this etymology is saying you would pronounce it cobalt? Cobalt? No, cobalt. There is a little dot over the O, though, so maybe that makes it cobalt. Alt. I don't know. The pronunciation guide is can be confusing. So anyway, cobalt, number 1, a tough, lustrous, silver-white magnetic metallic element that is related to and occurs with iron and nickel and is used especially in alloys. And then it says to see the element table. Number 2 is just the number 2 definition for the word cobalt blue. Whoa, excuse me. This is from German cobalt with a capital K. It's an alternative of kobold, also with a capital K, and that literally means goblin. Kobold, goblin. From the Middle High German cobalt with a K, from its occurrence in silver ore, believed to be due to goblins. So that is a fascinating etymology for cobalt. It means goblin. Interesting. Yep, I say interesting a lot. Next is cobalt blue. 2 words, noun from 1835. 1, a greenish blue pigment consisting essentially of cobalt oxide and alumina. Number 2, a strong greenish blue. Next is cobalt chloride. 2 words, noun from 1869. A chloride of cobalt, especially the dichloride, COCl2, that is blue when dehydrated, turns red in the presence of moisture, and is used to indicate humidity. Next is cobaltic. Cobaltic. It's like the Baltic Sea with the co at the beginning. Adjective from 1782 of relating to or containing cobalt, especially with a valence of 3. Next is cobaltite. Cobaltite. Yeah. Or cobaltine. Cobaltine. Cobaltite, cobaltine. Noun from 1868. A grayish to silver white mineral consisting of a sulfur arsenide of cobalt, also containing iron and sometimes nickel, and used in making smalt. Yes, smalt, whatever that is. Next is cobaltus. Cobaltus. Adjective from 1863 of relating to or containing cobalt, especially with a valence of 2. And then lastly, we have cobalt 60. Yes, 2 words. It is the number 60, 60. This is a noun from 1946, a heavy radioactive isotope of cobalt of the mass number 60 produced in nuclear reactors and used as a source of gamma rays, as for radiotherapy. So I get to reread the words to you right now. Ready, set, go. Coat room, coattail, coax, coax, coaxial, coaxial cable, cob, cobalamin, cobalt, cobalt blue, cobalt chloride, cobaltic, cobaltite, cobaltus, and cobalt 60. I'll pick coattail as the word of the episode. Because, sometimes you want to be a little fancy and you can get a jacket or a coat that has some tails on it. How does that song go? Going with my coattails nope, I don't know it. Coattails, 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 coattails. Why does my brain not want to think of that song with the tails, with my tucks and tails song? The holidays for today, September 5th. It is the earliest day on which Jeune Genevois can fall in Canton of Geneva. It is International Day of Charity. Go be charitous. Go do something with a charity. In India, it is Teachers' Day. In Denmark, it is the Flag Flying Day for Denmark's deployed personnel. It is the first day of school in Vietnam. What else have we got? In the U.S., it is National Cheese Pizza Day. Australia and New Zealand has Father's Day. It's also Cheese Pizza Day in Canada. In Finland, it is Entrepreneur Day. Did I say Teacher's Day in India? I don't remember, but I said it. It is, what else? Some fun holidays. It is National Be Late for Something. Be late for something? I don't like to be late for anything. It is National Shrink Day. I think that means psychiatrist, psychologist, something like that. So thank your shrink, if they want to be called that. It is Pet Rock Day. It is World Samosa Day. Ooh, yeah, maybe we got to get some samosas today. Any other fun holidays that I missed? I think that's it. All right. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. I would appreciate it if you rated it and reviewed it and shared it and subscribed and all of those things. And it's probably been a little bit since I mentioned this, but I have a series on YouTube where I'm teaching you how to speak backwards phonetically. Sometimes I will throw it in this podcast, but I thought maybe I should do something a little bit more structured. So if you want to go learn about that, the links, those things, those will be in the show notes. I think I'm going to try and put those in just all of the episodes. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye. Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. This is my podcast. It's so comforting for some reason to be able to say, hello, word nerds. It's a very repetitive thing, but it's kind of fun. All right. We are at the top of page 238, and that's the page that we're on. The first word is cobber. I think that's how you would say it. Cobber. cobber, noun from 1893. It is Australian and New Zealand, and the synonym is buddy, buddy, my buddy, my buddy. This is perhaps from British dialect in Suffolk. It's the word cob, C-O-B, and that means to take a liking to someone. So you've taken a liking to somebody, you become their friend, their buddy, and that is cobber. Next is cobble. First form verb from the 15th century, starting with transitive, I think, or is it only transitive? I think it's only transitive. Number 1 is chiefly British, to mend or patch coarsely. Number 2, synonyms are repair and make, as in cobble shoes. And I think shoe cobbler will be coming up. We will have cobbler soon. Number 3, to make or put together roughly or hastily. And this is often used with the words together or up, as in cobble together an agreement. Also as in cobble up a temporary solution. I'm sure I have cobbled up or cobbled together so many things. I think this podcast I cobbled together. That says it is perhaps a back formation from cobulere, which means cobbler. That is Middle English, I think. Now we have the second form of cobble, noun from 1600. Number 1 synonyms, just the one synonym is cobblestone. There are actually some cobblestone streets not far from where I live. I wouldn't actually call them cobblestone. They're really just bricks, but I think you can still technically call that cobblestone because it's not paved and it's very weird to walk on it or drive on it, and it's bumpy, but it's kind of cool that we still have some brick roads nearby. Number 2 is plural and chiefly British, and it means lump coal about the size of small cobblestones. So, cobblestones, coal, cobble. Next is cobbled, with an ed at the end, adjective from 1853, and it means paved with cobblestones, as in cobbled streets. This word sounds weird. Let's keep going with it. Next is cobbler, noun from the 13th century. Oh, and yeah, this has a number of meanings. Number 1 is a mender or maker of shoes and often of other leather goods. Number 2 is archaic, a clumsy workman. I wonder how that came about. Why was it that first, and then how did it become mender or maker? I don't know. Number 3, a tall iced drink consisting usually of wine, rum, or whiskey, and sugar, garnished with mint or a slice of lemon or orange. That is a cobbler? I don't know if I've ever heard of this drink before. I'm trying to go through my memory banks. There's the Tom Collins cobbler. I cannot think of that drink, but they just told me what it is. Number 4, it does sound good. Number 4, a deep dish fruit dessert. You can stop right there. With a thick top crust. A thick top crust. So how is this different from a pie? A deep dish fruit dessert. Isn't a pie? Maybe it's just thicker than a pie. A pie is like what? 1 inch, maybe 2 inches. And how thick is a cobbler? This is the information I need. And I just find this so fascinating that cobbler can be a person making stuff, or a drink, or a fruit dessert. This is from Middle English cobulere. And if we look back at the other one, cobulere, it just means cobbler, so that's not terribly helpful. Thanks, people. All right, next is cobblestone, one word, noun from the 15th century. A naturally rounded stone larger than a pebble and smaller than a boulder. Wow, that is a wide range. Larger than a pebble and smaller than a boulder. And then it says, especially such a stone used in paving a street or in construction. How big does it have to be to become a boulder? I don't know. Is it 1 foot in diameter as a boulder? Is it 4 feet in diameter as a boulder? What makes a boulder? And then on the same side, what makes a pebble? We've got pebble and cobble. Cobble, cobble, pebble, pebble, cobble, cobble, cobble. All right. Moving on to, and a cobblestone is an adjective made with cobblestones. Next is cob salad, 2 words. Cob has a capital C. Noun from 1949. A tossed salad made typically with chopped chicken or turkey, tomatoes, bacon, hard-boiled eggs, blue cheese, and lettuce, and dressed with a vinaigrette. And this says probably. I think that must mean probably. What else would it mean? P-R-O-B. P-R-O-B. Yes, probably. I think it's pretty settled at this point. Probably from Robert H. Cobb, who was an American restaurateur and died in 1970. So he's like, hey, these are the ingredients that I like in my salad. And somehow it became popular enough to be at least nationwide known that a Cobb salad has all that stuff. Next is cobby, C-O-B-B-Y, adjective from 1845. Synonym is stocky, as in a cobby horse. Cobby, you're never going to hear anybody use this, I don't think. Okay, next is co-belligerent. Co-belligerent. Now, I have heard of the word belligerent, but so we've added a CO at the beginning. Co-belligerent, noun from 1813, a country fighting with another power against a common enemy. So the fighting, it's very belligerent. You can be belligerent when you're fighting or something, and then you are you take up the cause with another country, and you've combined. So that's why it's co-belligerent. Co-belligerent is also an adjective. Next is cobia. Cobia, C-O-B-I-A. Noun from circa 1873, a large bony fish of warm seas that is a food and sport fish. It's just a fish. You don't need to call it a food fish or a sport fish. The scientific name is Rhachycentron canadum. Would it be canadum? Canadum? Something like that. Rhachycentron canadum. It is of the family Rhachycentridae. And the origin of this word is unknown. Next is cobel. Cobel? Wait a minute. Cobel. Oh, I see. Cobel. C-O-B-L-E. I thought it was spelled C-O-B-I-E, but the L looked like a lowercase, or the lowercase L looked like an I. So it's cobel. Noun from the 14th century. A flat-bottomed boat propelled chiefly by oars and used in Scotland and northern England, especially for fishing. Maybe on the cobble boat, they're fishing for cobia. Cobble, cobia? Nah, doesn't work so good. Next is cob nut. Cob nut, 1 word, noun from 1580. The fruit of a European hazel, also the plant bearing this fruit. And the scientific name is Corylus avellana grandis. Yep. Next is cobble. I think you would just say cobble. C-O-B-O-L. And you could spell it with all caps, or you can spell it with just a capital C. This is a noun from 1960, a computer programming language designed for business applications. And it is COBOL because it stands for Common Business Oriented Language. And the CO from common make up this first CO in COBOL. Common Business Oriented Language. Okay. Thank you for that. Next is cobra. Noun from 1802, any of several venomous Asian and African elapid snakes, elapid, E-L-A-P-I-D, that when excited expand the skin of the neck into a hood by movement of the anterior ribs. And then also any of several related African snakes. I wish I could do this with my ribs. Make them span out, so I can look bigger than I really am. This is Portuguese, cobra de capello, and it literally means hooded snake. So which part of that? So does cobra mean snake, or does capello mean snake? Yes, Latin, colubra. The Latin word is colubra, and that means snake. So it just means snake. The cobra name just means snake. You're calling it a snake. You can't say, if you say cobra snake, you're saying snake. I was just having this conversation with somebody about the word chai. Chai means tea. So if you say chai tea, you're saying tea. And then she said, this is my sister I was talking to, I guess kombucha, the cha means tea, and that actually makes sense because chai means tea, and that's spelled very similar. So some people say kombucha tea, and then you're saying kombuti tea. Why? I can't wait to get to the K's so we can talk about kombucha. What is kombu? It's a tea. I don't know. Okay, moving on from Cobra. I'll have to post a picture of Cobra on Instagram and Twitter. Next is co-brand. Co-brand. Transitive verb from 1982. To market or issue as a credit card in conjunction with another company so that the product bears the name of both. I think I have a credit card like this. And our last word in this episode is cobweb. C-O-B-W-E-B. Cobweb. Noun. Ooh, that would be a good one to figure out backwards. Good and easy. Cobweb. Bellbach. Cobweb. So this is a noun from the 14th century. 1A. The network spread by a spider. The network spread. So I think the word spread in this case would be a verb. It is a network that has been spreaded by a spider. And then the synonym is spiderweb. 1B. Tangles of the silken threads of a spiderweb, usually covered with accumulated dirt and dust. And number 2. Something that entangles, obscures, or confuses, as in a cobweb of law and politics. Cobwebbed is an adjective. This is from Middle English, copweb, C-O-P-P-E, from cop, which means spider. So cop, which means spider, which is from Old English, atorcop. That's interesting, atorcop. And then plus web, which is akin to the middle web. It's just a web. Middle Dutch kop also means spider. So interesting. Why? I guess that was the original word for spider web. It was cobweb because it meant spider web. Like, that is a much more authentic word to use when you're talking about spider webs. I wonder why it got changed from cobweb. People, I guess, wanted to say spider. And where was I going with this? Yeah, when I think of cobwebs, I do think of the ones that are usually covered with accumulated dirt and dust. I guess I thought that was a cobweb that covered in dirt and dust, but actually no, it's all spider webs are cobwebs, and then sometimes we the dirt and dust ones all are called that. I don't know. I'm actually recording this on Friday the 13th, August 13th. And it's a good scary day, and so it's a good thing to put in your horror movies. I don't know. We'll probably watch a horror movie tonight, and it will likely have cobwebs in it because it's a very typical thing to make something scarier. So the words today were cobber, cobble, cobbled, cobbler, cobblestone, cob salad, cobby, co-belligerent, cobia, cobble, cobnut, cobble? No, cobble. Wow, these are all so similar. Cobra, co-brand, and cobweb. Well, as much as I like the etymology of cobweb and stuff, I think I'm gonna pick cobber as the word of the episode because it means buddy. And I just want to be everybody's buddy. Everybody's buddy. I want to be everybody's cobber. but you don't know what that means, so listen to my podcast so you can learn what cobber means. All right, let's talk about the holidays for September 6th. It's so weird. I record so far in advance that, like, part of my brain is just living in the future. Today is the earliest date on which the Abbots Bromley horn dance is performed. Whoa, I think we need to click on this one. It is an English folk dance dating back to the Middle Ages. The dance takes place each year in Abbots Bromley, which is a village in Staffordshire, England. The modern version of the dance involves reindeer antlers, a hobby horse, Maid Marian, and a fool. Wow. Maybe we need to post a link in the show notes so you can watch an example of the Abbots Bromley horn dance. So it's the earliest date on which that can be performed. It doesn't say what the other dates are. Maybe it's the first Monday of September. Moving on to Armed Forces Day in Sao Tome and Principe. In Pakistan, it is Defense Day or Army Day. In Bonaire, it is Flag Day. In Swaziland, it is Independence Day. In Bulgaria, it is Unification Day. And why would they not mention Labor Day on this page? I know it's mentioned on this page. Labor Day here in the United States. First Monday of September. Sometimes my birthday falls on this day. Sometimes it doesn't. It's also Read a Book Day. It is also the first day of Rosh Hashanah, which is a Jewish observance. And why also was that not mentioned on the other page? Both of those seem pretty big. Let's see. It's also Labor Day in Canada, although they spell it with a U because they're Canadians. It is also Read a Book Day in Canada and the UK. And let's go read some fun holidays. It is Barbie Doll Day. Barbie Doll, you know, they've made some progress in counteracting the fact that they are creating a completely impossible body type for kids. But you know, I think they're making progress, maybe a little bit. It is Fight Procrastination Day. Just do it. It is Great Egg Toss Day. It is Mouth Guard Day. So like football and boxing, wear a mouth guard because you got to take care of your teeth. They're the only ones you got. It is National Coffee Ice Cream Day. Read a Book Day. Stillbirth Remembrance Day. This got sad. But yes, that is an unfortunate thing that happens. I can't even imagine what that would be like. So if you have gone through that, I much respect to you. And that's not anything that you can ever get over, I don't think. Finally, the last one on this other page is West Indian Day Parade. So I hope you have a good Labor Day if you are in the States or Canada. And otherwise, I hope you are eating some coffee, ice cream, and reading a book, and maybe reading the Torah. All right, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, this is Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.